camera rolls on. The ratings are waiting on the next sensation. The camera rolls on.
One other question, and the song Good Old Boys Like Me, is there a story behind that?
Well, that was about the time of Dukes of Hazzard or something. I was thinking that that's not really the South. That's not really the South I grew up in. And so I wanted to tell about the one I grew up in. I had a fishing buddy at the time who was, Tom Connolly, wrote a lot of history books, taught history at South Carolina, and we were sort of professional Southerners for a few years there with our Southern lit and everything. And I wanted to put all those themes, reverence for the land, the race, the father-son tension, all those things that are typical Southern themes, put them all in a song, and I did. I got most of them in there.
His office, and he played me what he had recorded on George Jones. I realized then it was something wonderful. I think it was something beyond what Curly Putman, my co-writer, and I realized. And I think George Jones and his producer, I think, breathed life into the song.
What was the thing that did it?
George's performance and Billy Sherrill's production.
And wasn't there who was the background singer on that?
Millie Kirkham.
Oh,
that was the icing on the cake.
That was cool.
Now, Billy Sherrill used to get criticism for being too slick and putting a lot of orchestration on those records, and that's funny because now he's regarded as the great producer of the traditional country music of that era.
Now, this is the song I was just talking to you about, Jukebox in My Mind, and it's really pretty cool. And Teddy, I'm sorry, but you're not a writer on this song. Even though your white Mercedes broke down, I mean, I'm sorry, buddy. What was really cool, they went down and Josh Leo is the producer of the record, and Larry Lee, they went down to Jeff Cook's house, and they took one of those DAT machines, early DAT recorders, and they recorded the jukebox, the quarter going into the jukebox on his old Seaburg jukebox. So it's so cool because that's how the whole song starts. You know, that's always the part I like the best. You know, that money going in there. In the corner of my mind stands a jukebox.
Any of those?
Okay. Getting songs cut is sort of a circus, and you never know why you're going to do it or why you're going to get that lucky. I remember that I wrote a song with a piano player, Pete Wasner, and he wrote for the same company that Garth Brooks wrote for. And this is sort of urban legend, and that old story, whether it's fact or fiction, print to fiction because it's more interesting. So this is what I heard. He heard our demo, and he loved the song, and he would hear it every once in a while, and he'd go, man, I love that song. Oh, I love that song. That's a great song. And he was in the studio recording for one of his albums, and they were going to do a Bob Seger song. And they were trying to get the lyrics, but the fax machine was broken. And it got to the point in the session where everybody was standing around, and they still couldn't get the lyrics. So he said, well, I don't want to send everybody home. Hey, I know, let's cut that song that I always hear playing in the other room that I like so much. They brought it out, and he cut it, and it ended up being a Garth Brooks single, which at that time was a very precious commodity. And I mean, you can't, you know, luckily that was when I still knew how to use a pair of pliers and how to cut wires. So as long as they never caught me doing that, it was a fantastic stroke of luck that the fax machine was broken that day.
I love that. That was awesome.
I had to realize that I actually was a writer.
Changing my life with your love. has been so easy for you, and I'm amazed every day, and I'll need you until the mountains are valleys and every ocean is dry. My love, I'll be yours until the sun doesn't shine, till time stands still, until the winds don't blow.
Because I have been in the business so long and heard so many songs and heard so many records, I had those moments where I become jaded a little bit. And I remember coming home late one night, and I was channel surfing on our 3 radio stations that we have here in Nashville, just surfing between 10 or 15 seconds of each song and just rotating through it and driving home. And I pulled up in my driveway, and I was still channel surfing, and as I turned the key off to the car, I told myself, I said, there's something seriously wrong with you because you hate everything. And I sat there for a moment in the dark, and I went, oh my gosh, that's a song title.
Tell me about the idea stuff.
Well, I listen to the radio. I like to stand in crowds and listen to people talk. You never know when they're going to come up with a great song title.
Right.
Don't even know it. They don't know it.
They're just talking, right?
Yeah. So we were coming to Scottsboro from our house. Now, it used to be a ferry that crossed the Tennessee River. And Ira and I hadn't been down there in a good while, and we was going to Scottsboro. You top that mountain up there, and you can see there's a bridge there, huge bridge. So I just simply said, I see a bridge. 30 minutes later, he handed me the song, I See a Bridge.
Oh, wow. That is awesome.
Our guys found. I'm kind of a guy lost in another era. I wish it were 1960 and I were Harlan Howard's best friend, and he just rolled into town, and I was in town, and Willie was in town, and everybody's sitting around playing songs at night and hanging out together. I would love to be in that world. I can't be, but I still sort of am anyway, in my own mind.
We'd love you to play a little more country than that. Tell us how that song came to be.
Well, that was the opposite of how I usually write, because that was basically a title. Me, Win Barble, Don Poitras had all gone to a songwriter's retreat for another artist, and we were all sitting around writing songs for this artist. And I had written a song earlier that morning, and then now it was the afternoon, and I was writing with 3 different guys. So we were sitting there writing, and somehow that title or something close to that title came out, and we just started singing, and the lyric just started falling out. Win lives on a farm out here by us, maybe 20 minutes away from here, and we live on a farm. And so all that lyric rings pretty true. And so it unfolded really fast. We loved the song, the artist didn't. So it sat on a shelf for about 5 or 6 years. And then it finally got recorded and put a brand new tin roof on our farmhouse. So my bride's really happy about that.
You've been watching a Ladak Productions presentation.